So today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my Viper lineups and general guide for the new map Breeze. This is going to be including a couple of post-plant lineups for executes, lineups for lurk smokes, as well as defensive setups and one-ways. As always, there will be timestamps in the description that you guys can click on to skip to the specific lineup or setup that you want to see. And something I want you guys to keep in mind is that obviously the playtime I got on this was pretty limited. So this is going to be based on what I did and what worked for me during this time. Obviously things could change as metas develop around Breeze, but if there are any significant changes, I will definitely make an updated video in the future letting you guys know. If you guys want to see more educational Valorant content like this, then make sure to subscribe. Also, if you actually want to see more Viper guides for the other maps like I used to do, then make sure to let me know in the comments down below. I would definitely be interested in making updated versions of those for you. So the first part of the video here is going to be post-plant lineups, and that is because there really aren't that many and they aren't that useful because of how covered and how many angles there are on the map. A lot of the post-plant spots aren't very good. However, I did find one on each site that I could see as being viable and definitely the most useful. Another thing is the common plant spots might change over time as people learn the map more. So these are just for the plant spots that I found most common in the 14 or 15 games that I got to play. So first up for A site, the lineup is going to be for when the spike is planted on the right side here in front of the right pyramid. And the way that I find this post plant to be most useful is if you're hiding around the corner here, and once you're ready for the post plant, maybe they tap the spike, you clear this angle, make sure it's clear. You walk up to this line on the wall and then just aim right here at the corner of this shadow, just like this. Do a normal left click. And as you can see, it bounces right down right in front of the right pyramid. So like I said, pretty situational, but pretty much any other lineup spot I was trying from in here is fully exposed to the site. And anything I tried from out here would just land on top of this roof. So now we're moving on to B site, and the most common plant spot that I saw was pretty much around this front left side of the pillar right here, and that's because you're not exposed to main and you aren't exposed to CT. And for this lineup, you want to be all the way out here at the cannon near the T spawn. Walk up next to this stain on the wall, and this is a UI lineup, and the part of the UI you're lining up is right here. And you basically want to make sure your number toxin indicator is right above this cannon. So just like this, do a normal left click. It will land right here on this left corner around the pillar. So this is a pretty safe post plant lineup spot. I definitely think the B site post plant is better than the A site one, but also like I said, these definitely could change over time. So next is going to be the execute for A site here, which is the wall and the orb lineup. And the wall is pretty straightforward. You just want to throw it in a way so it looks like this on the minimap, which will cover the mid doorway as well as the metal doorway with the switch. So this wall will prevent someone from playing in this doorway here and being able to freely peek you main. And it will also stop anyone who's playing at these mid doors or rotating through from peeking you as you push out as well. And for the orb lineup, what you want to do is walk right next to this left side of the sheet on the ground in the spawn. Aim right here, right along the roof, and do a jumping left click throw. So this orb will land on top of this box right here. And when you put up the orb, it will completely block the view of anyone who might be playing on the bridge here, peeking towards main. This way you can walk out to the right side of the site without getting seen by this guy. And of course, anyone playing around this box will be forced out wide into the open to stay away from the smoke. So when you're walking out onto site, the execute looks something like this. And basically you get to completely fight the site without having to worry about someone peeking from a far angle like bridge or the door. So the full A site execute should look something like this. So now moving on to executes for B site, and for the wall, this one is once again pretty straightforward. You just want to aim it in a way so it cuts off B site like this. So when you're pushing B site from B main, this is what the wall will cover. Basically anyone not playing directly on site has no view of you. Very straightforward, but also very good. And for the orb lineup, what you want to do is stand at this wall here at mid cannon, aim where the wire crosses in front of the top of the roof, just like this. and then do a jumping left click throw. So it will land back here. And when you put it up, it will cover the back left side of site. So when you have your wall and your orb up, basically you only have to worry about the close right side of the pillar, clear the right side, and then you can start clearing the left side of site without being peeked from these far back angles. So the full B site execute should look something like this.
Screen down.
So now I'm going to be sharing with you guys not just executes for attacking side, but lurking smokes. That way you guys can lurk up the hallway and lurk up mid. And these smokes worked really well for me. The map is huge with a ton of angles, and Viper's wall and orb do great jobs of cutting off different lines of sight, allowing you to sneak up to certain spots and go for big flanks. This is one of my favorite ways to play Viper, and it works very well on this map. So the first lurk smoke that I tried out and really liked was a wall across here to the back of hallway. So basically just stand anywhere along this wall and angle your toxic screen in a way that it cuts off the defender's line of sight down the hallway. So something like this works really well. And once the round starts, you pop your wall and go up the rope. And then you can just walk down the hallway like this without being able to be seen from a defender sitting in their spawn. They actually have to go out of their way and push the smoke to take this gunfight. So now you can take a position like this in the corner and wait for someone to push in, or you can walk out through the doors like this and start making a flank through the defender's spawn. So now for the mid lurk lineups, and what I like to do is come right here in front of the barrier, in front of this pillar, and throw your wall in a way so that way it goes to this door at nest and blocks it off. So just like this. So I really like this wall because if you put it up, if you walk up left side, it gives you cover from the door and anyone jumping down the chute. Plus it gives you cover from the doorway right there that a lot of people like to play in at nest. But also you can put it up and lurk up the right side here next to the chute. You can peek mid without worrying about the guy nest, and then you can start doing something like walking up through these doors and lurking onto A site. So the orb lineup that I like doing with this wall, what you want to do is stand right here at the corner of the barrier, and you want to aim right here in the middle of this blue box, right near this brick wall on the left side. So once the barrier goes down, your lineup should look something like this, and then you just want to do a jumping left click throw. And your orb will land on top of this rock, and in combination with the wall, it looks like this, which will allow you to walk up the left side of this pillar without being seen from the right side. And then you can start clearing the arch right there, and then you can work your way towards elbow, or you can work your way around to the nest and archway. So from the defender's perspective, if they're playing nest, like I said, they really can't see anything towards mid without peeking wide into the open, just like this on the left side. But on the right side, they can't see anything here. So if someone is playing wide open like that in nest, you can easily sneak around the left side of your orb and peek them. So these lurk smokes worked really well for me. And like I said, I definitely think it's one of Viper's strong suits on this map. So finally, the last part of this video is going to be defending setups. And first up, we have A site. So for the A site toxic screen, the one that I really ended up liking was something just like this right at the barrier at the front of A site. And you want to make sure you aim high and angle it in a way that it goes into the hallway. So just like this. So of course it will block off a main and slow down any pushes from here. But I also like this wall because if you or a teammate wants to play in this hallway and take hallway control near the chute, you can instantly put up your wall at the start of the round, and you or your teammate can just walk up into the hallway, and anyone who wants to challenge you from the attacker side has to push this wall. So on A site, there's also actually a one-way orb that is pretty good. It slows down any A splits from mid here at the doors and main. And for this lineup, what you want to do is stand right here at the corner between the box and the wall, aim right here along the stain on the ceiling, and do a jumping right click. so it will land right on top of the archway. And when you put up this one way, it will completely block off anyone running up the ramp towards a site. So the best way to play this one way is to put it up and play around these boxes. You'll have a one way for anyone pretty far up the ramp and even a little bit onto site. If you have your wall up as well, you can even play a more open spot like this to use this one way. So for B site, the main wall that I liked isn't actually for B site specifically, but it's one that helps you and your team take general, mid, and elbow control. So I like to throw this wall from around here in this corner, and I like to aim it like this. So as you can see, it cuts off elbow, but more importantly, it also cuts off a good chunk of mid. So with this wall up, it'll slow down anyone who's pushing elbow and allow your teammates to hold it easier from up here. Plus, if you have a teammate who's maybe pushing down mid, it will give them cover as well. So if the attackers want to go up mid, this wall will force them to peek through it blindly, or you could easily have someone at the doors on this side. Or if the attackers push through the wall on the left side of the pillar, they peek into a bunch of different angles that you can already have full control of. So this wall will work best if you have a teammate who is playing around here at elbow, or playing something like this, or if they're just playing the archway and holding mid. So the orb lineup is pretty simple. There's not any one ways that you can do on this site. Anything on the arch is just too high to be a one way. So pretty much what I was doing was just throwing my orb in the middle of the archway just like this. This would cover the whole archway easily, and it worked really well at slowing down pushes. So if you're playing an angle like this on this side of site, you have a really easy way to hold the B main push, and you also have complete cover from the mid archway. So yeah, a pretty basic spot for the orb, but like I said, it works really well at locking down the site. So that is going to do it for my Viper guide for Breeze. Like I said, I'm sure things will change over time, and if they do, I will be sure to update you guys in future videos. And to make sure you don't miss those, make sure you hit that subscribe button.